Peace, HHDG. We are on another episode of HHDG Media, the podcast. And before we get into our guest for tonight, big shout out to our Facebook group, Hip Hop Discussion Group, tuning in. Shout out to everyone else tuning in on YouTube right now. And as always, check that website link at the bottom. You see on the banner, hhdgmedia.com. You go see some of the latest music that we have posted up there, as well as our merch. And when we have any upcoming events, we also put that on the website as well. Right now in a Facebook group, we got our own little March Madness tournament going on. And right now, currently, we have Common going against Ice Cube in the Final Four right now. A lot of people expressing their opinions on, who should be going next. But like I always say, got to vote. We got plenty of members in the group. Y'all need to vote. I'm not going to say who you should vote for. I'm not going to say why, but make your honest vote. And always shout out our entire HHDG Media Inc. crew that makes it happen. Rock Vader KB, myself, Wiki, T. Smith, the Mayor, and Skelly Top. Peace to y'all. Now, we got two talented individuals coming from two different states, and they have various talents more than just their MCing skills, and they have a rich history that we will get into tonight. One of them, is continuously, he sent me some of his work that he's putting in right now. Let me hear what he got, and it's always some dope music that he got coming out, and he's got a very diverse sound, and not just from what he let me hear, but he lets the world hear through his projects that he's released as well. He's put out some very, very good projects throughout the years. He just recently put out one this year, and as well as last year, not including the collaboration album that we'll be talking about. Last time he was on the show, he was talking about, hopefully get back to doing shows, and here we are. He's able to do that again. We'll talk about the event that he has been going on recently, and with our other artist that's on there who also has a rich history. He is going to tell us about his come up as well. There's a crew that I'm not going to name until we actually speak about it, that that whole collective blossomed to a lot of talented artists, producers, MCs, artists that, we have come to know and love. And hopefully we can have that collective, put some more music out together. He has, how would I say, he has a very articulate way of expressing his concept with his albums that I appreciate. And House of Atreides was one of them, that really continuously sticks out. And from his college days to now, we see the growth, as we see the growth with our other artists that I was briefly speaking about, and continues to put out music, continues to work within his community, as well as actually both artists continue to work in the community, which I appreciate. We need that, and they all both work with some talented individuals, not just from their state, but from others as well that we're going to speak about. I don't want to, talk in code or, generalize it, but we'll get into the details. So I would like to introduce Poe Mack, coming out of Roanoke, Virginia.
What's good?
How you doing, man?
Doing good. Glad to be back on the show.
Definitely.
Thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely. And we have coming out of Raleigh, North Carolina, Cesar Comanche.
How y'all doing? What's going on?
How you doing, man?
Word up.
Cool. Now, before we talk a little bit about how the two of you came to work on dope album that y'all dropped last year, I Promise Not to Sting. Just tell us, were there any moments before you started collaborating on this album that the two of you had met in the past?
Yeah, actually, I mean, before we ever did any music together, I would say maybe close to a decade or a little bit further than that. Did shows together, like broke bread. Like he done been to, my spot. I done been to his house, different houses he had. Like we hit the road, been on tour together, listen to 80s music, all types of stuff.
Like I got to it was a period of time that I got to meet a lot of people because of like booking a lot of shows and like but not really many people I actually got to like develop like a friendship with. And so like, it's once we connected, it was like easy to like vibe together. We just hadn't really did a lot of music together per se, and until this came about with the Promise Not to Sting.
Nice. Now, Poe Mack, being that you were on the show before, and if y'all haven't checked it, y'all should go check it out. But give the people a little bit of your history, and you just gave a good portion of that with the bookings, because like I said, you got a rich history with not just your MCing and producing, but you actually putting together some really dope venues and events.
I'll tell you what, it's I really try to stray away from putting together the events now, just because it wore my ass out. I ain't gonna lie, but like I get exhausted even thinking about like organizing the show. But the thing is, though, I look forward to like getting back and getting out here and being cautious because it's it's still a jungle out here, and like we still on. I don't even want to say. I think it's reckless to even say on the back end of a pandemic, because it's still like something out here that like a lot of people aren't familiar with, and I know so many people that have gotten hit with it or either died from it, and I've been fortunate not to even have gotten it. So it's but as far as the shows, we'll see what happens here.
All right. Now, Cesar Comanche.
Yes, sir.
I don't want to get too much into it because I know there's a lot of details with it, but there was a point when you were at NC State and Ninth Wonder transferred over to the school. That was what, like 95?
Yes. Yeah, he transferred to NC State from Central the same year. That was my freshman year, fall of 95. Yep.
So from that time, when did Justice League, start to really develop?
Well, yeah, it was a few years later. So me and Ninth became cool in the summer session of 96. Both of us just stayed in school. We didn't really go home. So that's where we met. We became cool because we started talking about different albums that came out that year. And I think we bonded over De La Soul, Stakes Is High. So that, and I remember It Was Written came out too that year. But Stakes Is High, we bonded, we became cool. But I didn't know he made beats or was interested in making beats, and he didn't know I MC'd or was, aspiring to be one. We never talked about that. So not until I would say 1998 did we even have gained knowledge of one another doing that. And then I started going over to Urel, another Justice League member's dorm room is where we used to record. And Ninth, Egg Island Flow. It was a cat named Vaughn Lee that used to be in the league. I know Fonte mostly recorded at Eccentric's house at that time. But yeah, man, it was just, us making music in the dorm. And then like 99, we all were doing a show. It was just, for some reason, it was me, Egg Island Flow, Fonte, Median, we're all doing this show together. And it had nothing to do with us. We just were all on the show at NC State. And then that's the first time I said the word Justice League. And I was like, me and these other cats, we in a crew called the Justice League. Check us out. You know what I'm saying? And nobody objected. We just all rolled with it. And, even though Ninth came up with the name Justice League, and that's a whole nother story in itself, how that came about. But yeah, it was like not until 99 until it became like a thing. Yeah.
Okay. Now, what was it about De La Soul's Stakes Are High that, really got y'all to bond?
Because it was like a lot of people just wasn't feeling it that we were around. Like they wasn't saying it was whack. They just was not talking about it. They were all talking about like
Nas.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And we thought it was cool, but we just was more excited about Stakes Is High. And then we kind of was just like, we must be on the same vibe somehow. You know what I'm saying? And it just went on from there. We just remember no AC and we was in a high tower dorm over the summer, just surviving. Pretty much. Yeah.
Now being that, NC State's your school, I've seen that, you've been rooting for the women's team before they, they got defeated by UConn.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, man. Like I've started rooting for NC State back in 1983. Honestly, like my elder sister Missy is who got me following them. I never thought I was going to go to the school, but it just kind of just ended up that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a dope game too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was. It was a shame it turned out that way, but it is what it is. But they're some fighters. I respect them. Yeah, they was killing it.
Yeah. I've been trying to keep up with, both the men's and the women's throughout the week, mainly the weekends when I can. But yeah, that was like Poe Mack said, that was a good game.
Yeah. I already set my bracket on fire. I mean, like in the what was the school? St. Peter's. I got into that story because my bracket was just pretty much flames after the round of 32. So a lot of upsets this year, but it's always a lot of upsets. So
yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people was expecting that miracle, but I was like, no. They once they got to play UNC, I was like, no.
Yeah, no, it was a little overwhelming for them, but I mean, definitely hats off to them because
yeah, definitely.
They did beat some serious squads to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Poe Mack, I know you said that, speaking of the bookings get you in a little type of way before, but you actually booked some Justice League members during your time doing, setting up the venues.
We'll see, like back then there was a couple of options, and we ran with both. It was like one, you either had to like travel to where you had to go, like where I say in the song, I'll drive 7 hours to shake a hand. Like that was the it's just what it was. It was either do that or either bring it to me. And I knew it had to be a little bit of both. So I was like, all right, there was like literally really no boom bap in Southwest Virginia where I live. And so we pretty much was the boom bap that existed. And we like I had homies that put me on to Justice League back like early 2000s, and so like actually it was inspiring to know that somebody else like came out of like the Mid-Atlantic region that was like boom bap and like doing it, because sometimes doing boom bap in the South you can feel hopeless back, and then like see things kind of resurged now to where like, you know, boom bap then had this little like popularity boom again, I would say like in the past like 5 or 7 years, like to where it's like you having the mainstream artists wanting boom bap beats again, and you know, and putting out platinum album with a bunch of boom bap beats on it. So now having cats like that to like look at like made it like, oh shit, you know, we don't feel secluded completely. And so, but the thing is, to meet people, the best way to meet people in this game is to be able to have the need, like the what people need. And so like we all need shows. So like if you're the booker, you're gonna meet people. Like bottom line. So like I had good venues set up where I'm at, and I had people that was like, hey, we want to see this, and like we would start bringing this stuff through, and like literally it came to where like I felt like I was just like rotating Justice League members in the venue that I had at the time, like because the owner and me and Cesar was actually talking about this the other day, like when I was like, well, I had a venue where the owner was like a Justice League fan. So like when I bring up somebody from the Justice League to him, it was like, you know, like, all right, let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so but and it was given the ability and the opportunity to be able to expose this area to boom bap that normally like it wouldn't, you know, wouldn't have popped off.
Yeah, and similar to Poe Mack, in the early days, I was booking, I would say, 75 to 80% of all the Justice League shows, like in the region. Like, so I used to be a show promoter, and the same thing, you know, with Poe. Like it's something that you gotta have a passion for that. Now, I don't think that was Poe's passion nor my passion. But we're doing that because we were taking our destiny in our own hands. We weren't leaving any excuses on the table for why something may or may not be happening. It was like, okay, well, we throw the show, we promote the show, we get people out. And also it's a good learning thing, a gauntlet to go through, because let's say later on when like a demand, gets built for you, and people want to book you, you have been the promoter yourself. You understand what that promoter is going through, and you work better with the show promoter, and because you know what it is. You don't take none of that for granted, and they actually enjoy working with artists like that understand what it is the most, because cats can take it for granted and not realize how much of a grind it is, but you have to, the thing, we all did. And I feel like I bonded with Poe Mack on this is because he is somebody that doesn't make excuses. Something works out or something doesn't. He doesn't make excuses. He actually will go the extra mile to, if he's going to fail per se, it's going to be because there was nothing else that could have been done. He's going to do everything possible to win.
To make it happen.
And I respect that. Yeah.
That's major respect there, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And with you saying about as far as booking and setting up your Justice League members, that conditioning and experience allows you to see things in a completely different way. Like you were saying, if you were to do things now, it would be pretty much seamless because now you already you know it. You know the business of that, and so anything that looks like it's going to be shady, you already picked up on it.
Right. Experience, you can smell it. When you walk into a place, and Poe Mack, I'm sure, say the same thing. When you walk into a venue at this point in your career, and you already just look around and see what it is, you can already pretty much predict how the night is going to be, like before anything even happens. It's one of those things with experience, and then you understanding what type of situation it is, you come up with the strategy to maneuver best through that situation.
I mean, I've been in the outhouse and I've been in the penthouse. Yep. and the thing is, it's like I was fortunate enough to like watch my aunt as an entertainer for like a long time and kind of see how things like should be, even though I've had to make like a lot of mistakes and learn from those as well. So there's always going to be a learning experience.
Absolutely, yeah. And how do you put also that learning experience with the creation of your music? This is a question for both of you.
I feel like if you listen to our music, and both, I'm talking about like our combined album and our, solo projects too, you'll hear it. Like if you're really paying attention to what we say in certain places, like we're giving you a lot of information. It's just like you just gotta listen and pay attention to what we're saying, because it's all experience. Like, none of it's made up. You know what I'm saying? It's all from actual experience. So it's just like, that's what mostly it is the music. And then, even outside of that, people talk to us all the time, respectively or whatever. And we give people game. Sometimes they listen, sometimes they don't. But, the information was offered and given, So like, we hit you in different ways trying to let you know exactly what's going on and like pull the curtain back for people.
What I'll say too, like just add on what you saying, like, and God, I'll summarize the story, but like I was done with the road for like a couple of years, and my first time going back out on the road was joining Cesar on the Building Bridge store. And I was like basically like fourth leg in the car. And like, but the thing is, like everywhere we went, it's like he never shied from like introducing me to like he was doing what. And like there's a lot of people that they don't want to share like what's going on, like but he be like, hey, this is who put this on, like you could come do business with this cat, like and so like he's always been like just like open and honest.
Mm-hmm.
Get it? They got war over there. Somebody. Somebody.
Sorry, man.
What in the world? Sorry, like, I just can't pretend nobody else don't hear that. That's all, man. Yo.
That's family life. Sorry
Nah, I
about
feel
that.
you. Because you know what? Don't get into that though. Because like this was like the first.
To maintain, man.
This is the first time I've been in this house this long without my daughter in because she's at her at her nana's house like for a couple of days, and so it's like, you know, I'm way more wide open. Like the only thing I haven't done is blow a blunt on your broadcast, and also I told myself I wasn't gonna do that, but
okay. Oh, good times. All right, man. I'm awake now. I'm with it. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm ready. Come on.
There you go. All right. Now with that mind frame of thinking with the experience and what you're talking about as far as creating with the music, I have to bring up the label name, Defenders of the Free World. Because I've seen that name since probably your debut with the Nichols.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's 22 years ago, huh? Yeah. That's crazy. I'm sorry. You're asking a question. Go ahead.
Speaking of, the label name and how, it coincides with, pretty much how you've been doing things, independently.
Mm-hmm. Hey. So are you, wait, I'm confused now. Are you asking me where did I come up with the name? Or what inspired the name?
Yes, what inspired the name. Sorry about that. Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, pretty much. It because it started out as a distribution company. So what, going back to what we were talking about earlier about not making excuses. So we had including myself, my crew, when we started getting buzz and people, it was a demand for our music. It was like nobody could necessarily get it. So I know me and myself and another person who actually works with FE Music now. We actually built the infrastructure for a distribution company. And then we got music distributed ourselves, like straight from the crib, like around the world, the record stores. And we would wake up, we have a map, we would learn the time zones, and we would wake up no matter what time it was and directly call, no matter where in the world we knew it was a record store, and get our records and CDs and stuff directly to the people. So we took that into our own hands so people could actually get our music. Now, after that, when stuff even climbed higher, then other distribution companies started coming in and being able to fill in all that, missing stores that we had to facilitate ourselves. And then once that happened, that's when I turned Defenders of the Free World, music and distribution, to Defenders of the Free World, just my own personal label imprint entity. So yeah, and it was just, it direct from farm to table, that's just what the whole thing was. No filter, no nothing, just making sure you're building with your people, your fan base, everything, and just getting it done. So, pretty much, that's what came from.
And for you, Poe Mack, the same thing with your label, Maxstrumentals, Poe Mack Beats.
Maxstrumental has an interesting history, but when I was because it's like it started with like an original cast, and it was like a whole nother name, but basically people that I knew locally where I was at, like I literally cited out the best people that existed in rap music in my area at the time, and got them under one banner, and it allowed us to really put a grip on the area and it was too much for me to like keep together at the time because I had a lot of things going in life, and so it's like it dwindled down, and eventually I shut it down. But like once I knew exactly what I wanted to do with it, I brought it back, because like now it's like, all right, I work with different artists and put out projects with them, and I don't have people signed to the label per se. It's just an existing business, and so that's been the approach now. I've been producing a lot of records for different people around the country, and even got an international project I'm a part of right now with 8 MCs from 8 countries, 8 different languages, and I happen to be the American representation on it. So that's something it's gonna be cool to probably see before the end of the year. So
Nice.
Dope. Dope.
Yeah, that's definitely dope. And recently, I saw a write up that I read today on the creation of the message board, the Lawn, in 2001. And it's funny reading it because I'm a person, another artist that's in there that's not, from the Justice League or the NC area is Lex from Queens that I'm cool with. Yeah. So tell us how that came to be with your friend Chris Bushnell.
Oh man. I mean, long story short, pretty much we saw different message boards at that time in the beginning of the 2000s where people were coming together, and OK Player was one that we like looked at, and then we were just like thinking like, you know what, we could create something like that, and we felt like we had enough of a movement that it would work, and we could build it, just organically. People kept, word of mouth, because it wasn't like we were running ads anywhere. It wasn't like there was no Facebook to post about it on. There was no, I don't even think, so there was no Facebook, no Instagram, none of that. You know what I'm saying? To post it on to try to advertise. It was just simply, we were going off of what we were generating out in the world, interest-wise, and people were finding us, and it just was something crazy, and we just kept it going and try to keep it as organic, evolve it, but not lose what it is. You know what I'm saying? So and I mean, we didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know that it was going to become something so big either, that it did, and make such an impact to, people to this day. But I'm proud to have been part of it. I know, CJB, Chris Bushnell's proud to have been part of the idea, and like everybody else in JL, like they just were themselves on the board, and that just made the whole thing work. And it was just like one huge, big family wrapping around the world that started. It was a beautiful thing.
That's great. Yeah, and message boards to me was like the infancy of what we have now with the internet as far as spreading the word of music. Back then, everything was just pretty much text-based. You mention who it is, you might have a link or something, but that was about it. There wasn't any videos and all these other platforms to go through. So that was like the initiation from in-person word of mouth, at shows word of mouth, to handing over a flyer or something, to now we're doing things electronically through texts.
And I forget how young we were when we were doing all this. Like, we were kids, all of us at that time were pretty much just fresh out of our teens, not too long removed from being a teenager, and like doing these things that never thought we would do, and affecting people, and people actually enjoying something you made, and somebody you don't know actually cares about you putting this thing out or the next thing out or what show you're doing. Like, I think back about it, and I read the article too, and it made me remember a lot of stuff, and it's surreal, man. And like I said, like it's, and I really have to remind myself, like how young we were, and what we experienced at such a young age. Like for us to not be dead is amazing. Yeah.
Now, we could be on there for quite some time going through both of your individual discography. So I'm gonna, stick to a little more recent. And Poe Mack, last time you were on there, Tamarack Lane had just come out.
Yeah, no, that was an interesting time too. Because I had been through a lot, and a lot of people, didn't know at the time that like I had already been working on A Promise Not to Sting with Cesar, and so it was a very just a very productive time. Like I was going through a lot of things personally, but that also made the music easier to write too. So
Yeah. We didn't rush the album at all. Like, and it, like he said, like, I mean, we put serious work into the album, but it never creating the album never was a stressful process at all. Like it just we had chemistry already, probably because we had a lot of history and we traveled together, done stuff like that. And like a lot of times, I actually think back about who I make music with, and I never thought about that. But the core of it is it's the same situation. Like I actually make music with 90% of who I have a lot of history with. And y'all form this real life bond that just bleeds over into your music, and it just makes it does something to where it just and I'm not saying anything I've done with people that I don't really know that well or just acquaintances is diminished in any way. I'm just saying like it's something special when you have music out and it's out there for until whatever the grid fails, with people that you have an actual real relationship with, that what they go through. And that's why the concepts on the album made so much sense, because I knew these were things that Poe Mack also could talk about easily. So like when we did it, it was like, it's really cool. Very proud of the record. It was Poe Mack's idea to make the record, but very proud of the record.
Well, the thing is, I'm like, all right, we've been banging with each other all this time. I'm like, all right, we at the crib.
Yeah,
like we at the crib. We both have professional ways of recording our music. So it's like, let's work. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about what's happening.
Yeah.
So because really when you listen to the album, like the album is a soundtrack of the times. Like from a Scorpio perspective.
Yeah. But at the same time, you can listen to that album 20 years from now and it'll still resonate just as true as it was when we created the album, because it is an honest capsule, but at the same time it's timeless,
And what who came up with the title?
I did. It's a weird title, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I did.
Yeah, no, he hit me. He hit me
And
with
see,
that. I mean, I was like, he hit me on, and like, and I was stoned, and I was like, you know what? That's pretty damn cool.
Yeah. No, weird
and
titles is my thing. I don't
I was
know
gonna
why.
say that. I was
Yeah.
gonna say that because like A Night and the Thief.
Mhm.
Every time I read the title, I want to say a thief in the night.
Yeah. But like to me, like a night in the thief is like so much darker.
Darker.
It's a
Yep.
whole nother level of
Yeah.
nighttime. Yeah.
You know the crazy thing about that, like, see, there was a few gigs that I DJ'd for Cesar, and I remember telling myself, I'm like, I am not backing up this chorus until I say these words in the right order, because I kept saying the song, it kept saying the shit backwards. But I finally got it right though.
Yeah.
And how did you link up with Hip Hop Junkie Mighty Tortoise for the artwork?
Oh yeah. Shoot, how did we? I feel like we just started talking about online about like.
Didn't she do the House of Tradies cover?
Yeah, she did House of Trades also. Uh-huh. Yeah, we just started having conversations about like music and stuff like that, and I saw that she was into certain things. We became really cool, and then I learned that she's also a very talented artist, visual, be it like drawing, painting, graphic design, all that. She does all that stuff. So I was like, huh. So then it's pretty much, going back to House of Trades, I gave her the idea and like what I was seeing in my head as a visual to match the concept. And she listened to what I said, and then she freaking just did it. And it was like somehow she could see inside my mind. And it's the same thing with A Promise Not to Sting. Like she did this, this artwork. Oh, okay, we doing it the same. That's great.
Yeah, that was dope.
Artwork. And like, it's crazy, right? It's like, this is exactly what, without me being able to see it in real life, she delivered exactly the vibe and the feel of the record. The visual matches the concept and the feel of the sonically the music, and that's what I love. Yeah, like she does her thing.
I mean, that shit is sick. That cover's sick.
Yeah.
Like I mean, it's like I think I said this to Cesar when I first saw it. I was like, it's like you just put up like the new Prince, the new Duran Duran, some major '80s release just up on the shelf there. Like, oh shit, like like she did her thing on that art.
Yeah, because that definitely would stand out on the shows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Like, I can't wait to sell it at shows. It'll happen one day. We'll get there. But yeah, man. And I mean the reception of this record, I feel like both me and Poe Mack felt this way about it, that it's like solid from beginning to end. But just, it's one of those things where you don't know how people are going to receive it at all. It's just how you feel about it. But it just seems like the consensus is mostly of the reviews that I've been getting and we've been getting, they've been saying that is in there somewhere to where it's solid from beginning to end. Like everything else varies on the bookends, but that's in there. And I mean, that's an honor for people to feel that way about this record.
I mean, it was like, and not even getting too much in the conversation, but Superstition, shouts to Superstition. Like he hit me with some records the other day, like some beats, and he hit me with them with a message saying talking about how much the record that we did moved him at a time when he was going through something similar that we were speaking on the record. And I'm gonna tell you, that really moved me, because the last EP that he put out, that he Who Saw the Beats too? Like that record still stuck with me. Like that record actually pulled me out of a funk at a time when I listened to it because he said some similar shit that I was going through, like as a father at the time. Like and so like, you know, so yeah, no, shouts to Superstition, man.
No, for real. Yeah, and he came through like I feel like we were done with the album and we just needed to arrange it and everything like that. And he just messaged me like and was like, yo, like, and he hit me with 3 beats and one of them was the Stale Flowers joint. And I was like, oh snap. And I was like, this has to be on the record. I was like, this is only right. Like me and Superstition got history. Like we've gone so many countries together and this, that, and the third. And for him to be on this record, it just brought everything full circle and it fit the vibe perfectly. So then when I did my thing and then I was like, Poe Mack, check this out, whatever. Poe Mack just killed it. And then we just constructed a song, you know, and Superstition was just overjoyed when he heard it, you know what I'm saying? Which is, that always feels good when like the cat who made the beat is like really happy about what you did with it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. Shout out Superstition. We had him on the show not too long ago with Bamboo the Asiatic.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Dope.
He's a monstrous MC too. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Good Lord, that brother can rap.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. Now, Poe Mack, I want to go back real quick to what you were just saying. How, you know, his Superstitions album, you know, what he was speaking about related to what you were going through, and how Superstition said kind of the same thing with what you was, Superstition was going through things that, you know, related to what your music was speaking through. And, you know, you see how things kind of went full circle?
Yeah, not like, because I'm going to tell you, it was wild to actually end up doing the song that we did on one of his beats, like because of that in particular. Because I mean, I would credit even like that EP he did actually kind of like it inspired honestly Tamarack Lane, like the way I approached it, and then to end up because that song, because see Stale Flowers on A Promise Not to Sting, that really felt like the wrap up like for like a lot of things for me in a 12-month span. Like that record itself was like the wrap up. Like it's like, all right, I went through all this. Here is the recap, like how Mad Skills at the end of the year would have, you know, the wrap up. That was my personal wrap up. So that definitely full circle.
And one of the early tracks, which is still one of my favorites, and you know, every time I listen to it, I visualize at shows, the hip hop shows I've been to, because we're talking about A Plague with Marcel P. Black on there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, it's a dope song. Yeah, DJ Flash on the production, and he did the scratches too. Yeah, nah, it was cool to have Marcel up there because I thought of the, you know, he's somebody who always speaks about not rapping over vocals a lot, and you know, at your shows and stuff. And for those of y'all who don't know what it is, y'all are very fortunate. But you know, and I was like, well, if we're gonna rap about this, it would be only right to have Marcel up here because all of us feel the same way about it that actually care about the craft. But he's somebody that always talks about it. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, nah, he's got to be up here. So it's very cool. I'm glad he was able to get on that joint. And then, you know, me and Poe, we just, it came together really well.
What makes Marcel so unique too is going back to that thing earlier when I was talking about like the South and boom bap. Like I had no idea that there was like a boom bap cat getting down like that in Baton Rouge at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's originally from Oklahoma, and he's back in Oklahoma now.
Yeah.
And he's still, of course, moving around. You know, he's always getting out there. But like, you know, to come to Baton Rouge, like in the Cajun, like South,
Yeah.
and be able to take on a boom bap experience was like special to me. Like yeah, he had a cool, like when he was in Baton Rouge, living in the area, like he had a cool event, Fade to Flow Sunday, that was like in like in a big ass barbershop, and it just had like a really intimate vibe. And I had a lot of fun performing there. So like, you know, he was another person that was like, you know, solidifying boom bap in a spot that it wasn't necessarily the popular thing to do, but like the people that like bang with him realized, oh, okay, this is where it's at. And so like I respect him for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we tried to get like, and all of them are not obvious, but like different people who are on like the radio interludes, the WJLR radio interludes. It's like everybody on those interludes is somebody of significance to one of us or both of us. You know what I'm saying? So it was like a lot of people will just feel like, oh, it's like cats calling in the radio, just giving shout outs. But like all those people are like purposefully there and actually have had something to do with us working with them, you know, people that have been good to us over the years, things like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's just good to have these cats up there on this record, and you know, it's just a a family thing. So it's very cool.
Yeah, and just to hear those familiar voices from a person who actually listens to the people that you had on there, you know, it felt great. And I really love that you continue to keep the WJLR going on like that. Yeah, I love that. Shout out to Ag and Flo.
Yep. Flo, man, that's my dude, man. Yeah.
Now with this album, we spoke about this probably in 2021. You said there are differences between the vinyl version and the CD version.
Oh, you got both. Okay.
Yeah, tell the people about that.
I mean, Poe Mack knows. Tell him, Poe.
Well, it was like Hawk and Animal on the Road Warriors just now. Well, no, I mean, you know, I can give you an elaborate story, but I'm gonna cut it to you straight. No, it's like, you know, vinyl pressing. That, you know, there are particulars you had to go through, and we was like, well, we do want to make one thing exclusive from the other, and so like in the best interest of the technicalities and exclusivity, we was like, we'll keep the vinyl like straight songs, and then like the CD will have like the bonus to entice people to the CDs, because the thing is, CDs have been kind of like hit or miss. You have people that really want them, and then some people are going to complete, you know, Spotify or like, you know, all these DSPs and different things. So like, so we really wanted to make something exclusive about the CD, and so, you know, that played a lot into that.
Okay. Going to let people know about that, definitely.
Yeah, so do like you, get them both. Get the vinyl and the CD. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, PoeMack.com. Actually, you can get the digital version and the vinyl at PoeMack.com, and you can go to CesarComanche.com and get the CD, the digital version. Either way, you're gonna get it if you go to either website.
Yep, exactly.
Yep. I'll put the links in.
My man got the Bandcamp link up there. All right, yeah.
Oh wow.
Because it is Bandcamp Friday coming up here.
Is
so
it
like,
tomorrow?
yes.
Oh, what day? Yeah, it is. Okay, it's Bandcamp Friday tomorrow. Let's do it. Like,
yeah.
Let's move some more Promise Not to Sing joints.
There you go.
Dang, you did that fast, didn't you?
Yeah. No, you whipping them up there.
Okay.
Got to be prepared.
Yeah. So did you already have that ready? Or
Yes, I did. Yeah, I had it
okay.
ready.
I like him. I like him.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
So yeah, for those who listening, come through. Also, you know, we appreciate the support and the love. We do this music from a genuine place, and so like, there's no facades with it. Like what you see is what you get. And we scribe our lives on the track, and we appreciate the fact that people want to come through and actually, you know, spend their hard-earned money on days like being Camp Friday to come rock with us. So like, we appreciate the continuous support, and that's all I got to say about that.
Absolutely. Definitely.
Yep.
Support.
We got Ninth Wonder, we got Crisis, we got DJ Flash, we got DK, Superstition, and me on a joint.
Yourself, yeah.
If you got the CD, but I'm not on my joint in on the vinyl. I didn't miss no producers, did I?
I mean, we got the two DK. Did you say DK?
Yeah, I said DK.
Okay. I mean, we
J.
got
Rawls.
the 2000.
J. Rawls.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I knew I was messing up somewhere. Yes. And J. Rawls is on the project too with a banger. It's boom bap, rich, soulful, well crafted, just goodness from beginning to end. Yes.
I love
The
seeing J.
producers
Ross
alone on this
reaction.
album are people killing the game right now.
Say what?
I said the
No, I'm
producers.
saying go ahead.
My bad. No.
Oh, I was saying I love seeing J. Rawls' reaction to, you know,
Oh man.
on IG.
It's priceless, man. You can't, you know, and he just did that. Like, I was just like, wow, that's dope. Yeah.
And what were you saying, Poe Mack?
Oh no, I was like just the production lineup alone on there is like, you know, 2015 Warriors. Like so.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Yeah, it's really not fair. Not at all.
Yeah.
Now with the visuals, you have Stillborn, Algorithm, and Confinement. Are we expecting another music video?
I don't. Yeah, I feel like we're planning to do more. We just haven't got around to it yet because I know both me and Poe's schedules kind of picked up in all the different other things we got going on. But yeah, no, we're definitely, that's not going to be the only 3 videos. We're going to do more for sure.
Okay.
Like I'm in the middle of acquiring a studio right now, like that I've worked for a long time, and it's a lot of history with that, and you'll hear more about that. And so that's been taking like a lot of time, but like when that's done, it's going to open up a whole new opportunity for artists to pass through because of the things that we'll offer. Like once again, you know, just want to keep Southwest Virginia a place where people feel like they have a reason to come to because it's my home, it's where I'm from, and you know, so that's why you always hear me mentioning mountains and everything.
Yeah.
And
And I know both me and him been busy. Well, I know especially he's been busy selling his beats and things like that. I've been busy doing features on other upcoming projects and doing some guest lecturing. And we've been, you know, doing these things, podcasting and pubbing the album and stuff. But yeah, for people to still care and people to still be, you know, actually pushing us forward and telling us to keep doing what we're doing. Like after all this time, you know, I don't take any of that stuff for granted at all. I don't. It's a blessing for sure.
Absolutely.
Yep. Poe Mack, tell us about your Poe Mack Radio Fest.
It was a cool time to get some people together. That I played on my Poe Mack radio show. So really, it was just kind of like celebrating the existence of that. Poe Mack Radio is something else that I'm gonna end up taking to a whole nother level once everything with the studio gets completely established, and get back to just like having some cool guests, maybe video casting it. It actually plays on FM radio here in the Roanoke Valley on 95.7
Nice.
FM, and so we have that. Like, I mean, it's literally airing, here in just well, actually, it's on now. It's a simulated cast tonight. So just trying to do that, man, to keep it going. Like, I literally put people on the radio show that I ran across on the road, that are doing their thing, and like it's cool to be able to have that exclusive music to put on there, because a lot of times it's what people haven't heard, but then also we'll mix in like I literally will have like a Cesar Comanche record play, and then I might have Benny the Butcher drop. It's like so it's just like back and forth for like different vibes, but we don't play no flashy shit on there, but like it's all grit.
And Cesar, you speaking about guests, working with other artists. Could you tell us briefly about the artist from Portsmouth, Rhode Island? Is it pronounced Tarnay Waylay?
Yeah, Tony Waylay. Yeah, I feel like so. I know me and Poe has done a bunch of different runs through the New England states, and I know I met him. I feel like I met him in oh gosh, I can't remember the city, and I did a show at this one place, and I want to say it was New Hampshire. No, it wasn't New Hampshire. It was Rhode Island. Sorry, it was a different part of Rhode Island, and yeah, we became cool. Like a while ago, we met, and then he told me that we're gonna do something together, and then that's what happened. It was like he gave me the concept and did the jam, and he said he was gonna make a video of it. I mean, obviously, I wasn't going there to film no video, so I was like interested. And he came with he made it work with the whole, the lyrics and stuff right on the notebook. I was like, that actually is mad clever. So yeah, man. I mean, I dig the jam. It's very cool. It's got a good message to it, and yeah, it's very cool.
Cesar been smoking some features too, man. Like I've been I was honored to hear some things when I was in his lab after we had worked on the videos, and so man, he's been smoking some features.
Yeah, like there's stuff coming out down the pipe for sure. Yeah, so like yeah, I'm in feature mode, so we keeping it moving. Yeah.
Dope. And one of the other things that people can also do to support is your merch.
Oh wow, yes, the analog boom bap champion bang outs. Yes. Yeah, man. Nah, that whole thing came about crazy because it's a cat who's English, who lives in Barcelona, Spain, who is actually he does like art galleries and stuff like that. He's just a crazy artist, and I just told him like that phrase, and he made an art installation like 3D in Barcelona. Like it's bigger than people. You know what I'm saying? And it's exactly that was on that shirt. So like that is actually on, I can't remember what street it is, but if you walk down the street, it's a huge thing on the wall that is exactly that design. And he made it. And then we did the collab, made the shirt, and that's just one of the designs for gear now, which is really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
His name is Ashwan. Yeah, Ashwan Arts. Yeah, he's a beast.
Ashwan Arts. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Look that up.
And they're on those shirts is on my Bandcamp also. So go to the Bandcamp.
Yeah.
Bandcamp Friday. Get yourself a shirt.
Now with the album, "A Promise Not to Sting," what's one of those things that us fans might not know about?
Something the fans may not know.
Go
ahead, Poe.
I'll give you one quick one. There actually is another version of Stale Flowers that we've just sat on.
Yeah.
There is like a reprised version. So that is something that fans of the record I know do not know. And we've not really said that publicly until I just ran my mouth.
No, I'm glad. Honestly, I forgot that existed. Yeah, that's true. It's dope. Like, I don't know how we're going to release it or make it public yet, but it will. It's dope enough. It'll be a shame if it doesn't hurt. So we'll make sure somehow, some way, it becomes accessible to the people. But yeah, man, it's pretty hard. I know. When I sent it to Poe and he heard it, what'd you say? You had to just sit and listen to it.
Oh yeah, I was moved. I mean, I was already sitting around, weeping over my mom. Then I hear this record, I'm like, oh my god, this is it moved me in a whole different way.
Yeah.
So sometimes people will hear it, but that is probably, I feel like that's been the biggest kept secret from the album that fans of the album have not known.
That's a good one, Poe. That was a good call because I wouldn't have thought of that. But yeah, man, yeah, that's good. I have nothing. I'm going blank right now. I'm sure there's stuff. I'll think of it later on in the night. But yeah.
You could probably give us a teaser of that reprise on the next video. Probably when it fades out at the end or something like that.
It would. What you're saying makes sense, but there's no real way we could do it that way, I guess. I feel because with this song, you kind of have to hear the whole song. You see what I'm saying? It's nothing quick that you would get what's happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, once again, Cesar Comanche, Poe Mack. Thank y'all for taking the time to speak with HHDG Media.
Hey, man, no problem at all. Thanks for
appreciate you, brother.
Yeah.
Definitely. And as always, give your shout outs and where they can go and support "A Promise Not to Sting."
Oh, yeah. So they can go to CesarComanche.com for the digital, which you might as well. Okay, I'm just going to say this now. If you go to CesarComanche.com, just get the CD. Because the digital copy comes free with the CD. You see what I'm saying? Because I know people who got the digital copy, but then hit me up later yo, it's you got anything you can sign or anything like that a poster or something. I'm like, if you just got the CD, you'd have got both of them for the same price.
Right.
Yeah, even if you ain't got a CD player.
Can
it
you
don't
see
matter.
that?
If you don't got a CD player, I get it. Yeah, see what I'm saying? Get the CD anyway. So, but for the vinyl, make sure you go to PoeMack.com for the vinyl. And all you got to do is you might have to scroll down a little bit. You'll see it when you see this cover right here. You just click on it and it'll take you to the portal, and then you get your vinyl, and then you be ready to rock. Yeah. And get all our other music too besides that album. So you don't got to just get that album. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we got mad music. So like, and come get the Bandcamp packages. I'm pretty sure you got the package. I mean, I know I got the package from mine. I believe you can pretty much get everything for like $60 or something like that. So yeah, come through.
Anything else?
And make sure if I'm just gonna say this without trying to give it too much light. If you're trying to buy or search my music, please make sure you listen to it before you buy it, because there is this fake Cesar Comanche that just materialized out of the ether, and please don't get got, because like people have hit me up showing me like, yo, I got the whatever, and I'm like, that ain't me.
Me. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So like, listen to it. Make sure you hear my voice or whatever. No, I don't think nobody sounds like me. Or make sure it's something that makes sense that I actually make. Don't get got, because we working on dealing with that right now. But just don't get got.
Yeah. Check the discography first before you go and purchase.
Yes.
Know what the titles are.
And there's a fake Poe Mack, ain't it?
Yeah, that man, some brother out in the middle of Africa, man. Like he decided that, and he actually hit me up and told me, like, I'm thinking like, I think we was definitely having a culture gap in the conversation, but no, there's another one out there. So like, but he luckily he don't do music. Like, you just said it's pretty wild. Like,
yeah. And the thing about it is, if you try to search this other Cesar Comanche, there's no information at all. It's just like 4 songs, and you can't find nothing else. So this cat is like being mad stealth on purpose, and like, so if you because of the algorithm, his stuff just comes up like mixed with mine. And it's messed up.
That dude got a niggapedia.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh man,
yeah.
No, this is
I
cool.
appreciate it.
Let me ask you this. Is this a thing where people are like looking at this live and talking and stuff like that or anything? Because I don't know about y'all. All I see is us. I don't know if there's like are y'all seeing something different than me?
No, you see the same thing. The only thing I see is there's a comment section. So if anybody is watching, they want to comment.
Got you.
They can comment, and then I can go and put it up on the screen for you to see as well.
Dig. Got you. So yeah, you can just edit that part out there. Never mind.
Yo. But I'm gonna enjoy my. I miss my child, but I'm gonna enjoy my child this evening. Word. I may even have a glass of wine.
I can dig it. Grown man stuff. I can dig it.
Yeah. I know the feeling. When the family's going, it starts to settle in once they're gone for a little too long.
Yeah, it's about time to watch the Lakers lose again too. So.
Oh man! Once again, thank you. Go support I Promise Not to Sting, as well as all their other solo projects. In behalf of our HHDG Media crew, we're gonna say peace.
Peace and love.